It's weird because I'm having this internal thought like I can't speak, and I don't know how, even though I do it every day. The goal is to talk more so I can talk more, if that makes sense. Because I don't know how to in many ways, in many forms, in many situations. I just don't know how to talk. And so I'm doing this little thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But oh, there's some more white for us. I don't know if I'm gonna upload this just straight up continuous or if I'm gonna cut it. I don't know. But I wanted to talk about my my debilitating addictions. That's right, addictions. And I just uninstalled Overwatch because I've learned that I'm addicted to it. Even as as someone as bad as I am, I still played it for like probably 3 years just probably every day for 3 years. And I got to a point where I can't because I'm so bad. I rage and I scream and I play this game that I'm bad at. Why would I do that? So I uninstalled it cold turkey, and here's my day one, hour one update, if you will. And today I feel like quitting Overwatch. That's this theme is today I feel like I don't know. Who knows if I ever do this again, but I want to do it every day. Stream of consciousness, learn how to talk more, do this, speaking to this beautiful red mic. I hope it sounds okay. Actually, I don't care. I don't care about you, and I don't care about your feelings. I don't care. This is for me. Yeah, so I played this Overwatch game for probably since 2018. I played it on the PS4 for a while. Then I moved to PC when I bought one. The one I'm using right now is in front of me. And I really do like having a computer, but at the same time, it's like it sucks my soul because all I do is sit on it, and I hate that. So I'm going to do more productive things. If I'm going to sit in front of it, I want to do productive things like crypto. I put a little money into Litecoin. I actually don't know anything about crypto, and I'm not doing that. But hey, you never know. I got a little bit of Doge. I got a little bit of Litecoin. I'm not doing Bitcoin or Ethereum because fuck that. We'll really fuck it all, but anyway. I'm getting sidetracked. Overwatch. The game from hell. And it's the game from hell because well, it's a fun game. I have no ill will towards the creators I hate the players, but I have no ill will towards them, the creators, the devs. What am I saying? Today I feel like quitting Overwatch because it's ruined my life. I sit here all day long playing it, not getting better at it. I'm not good at it. So I continue to spiral into insanity. They say insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. And that is me. All day long playing Genji or whatever I do. I don't know what I do. I feed. Today I was playing and I realized I'm just not good at it anymore. Or I'm not that I was ever good at it, but it's gotten to a point where it's enough. It's enough, and I'm done. Yeah, done. So I uninstalled it cold turkey, and now I'm updating myself about it. This is to myself only. Maybe someone comes across this. And if you do, I'm sorry. Or maybe I'm not actually, I don't care about you. I don't. I just don't. I feel like I have a lot going on in my head at all times. And a lot of the times I catch myself saying, "Sir, this is a Wendy's," to myself, because why would I have the audacity to tell myself this? To tell myself anything? It's it makes me feel crazy because I just have this internal dialogue all day long. It's just going and going and going about stuff that I A shouldn't care about, or B don't care about enough. The duality of man. The duality of me wanting to drink this soda and not piss it out later. It's 1:32 p.m. on November 28th, 2021. And I've had this idea in my head for a long time to do like this kind of a video log of the insanity that goes on through my head. I did this totally willy-nilly. Didn't really have anything planned, but I did just quit Overwatch. I quit it. I uninstalled it. I'm done. And it feels like it hasn't set in yet, and maybe I'll reinstall it. I hope to God I don't. But I thought I would update myself. Maybe I can watch this in the future and be like, "Yeah, you did it," or "You didn't really follow through, you piece of shit." Either way, that's a shoe nice thing. Either way, I'm gonna keep pounding this shit. I'm gonna do this every day. Title would be something like, "Today I feel like colon blank." Colon as in those two dots. Not colon as in your rectum area. Not that kind of colon. So yeah, don't get confused by that. Yeah, so today I feel like quitting Overwatch, and I did. It has been maybe 20 minutes since I've done that. And I whipped out my camera, I whipped out this mic, and I said, "You know what? I'm going to keep myself accountable. I'm going to hold myself accountable for these actions, these horrible things I do to myself." And that's the thing, is I really only do it to myself. You know, if I was out pillaging villages, or like, you know, kidnapping people or poisoning them, or, you know, just, I mean, those are pretty crazy things to do. Most people don't do that. Most people don't be me. In fact, no one does. Only I do. Yeah, so I'm looking at my computer screen right now, and it says "need help," and I think yes, I do. That is why I'm doing this. I'm on like the Microsoft webpage. Maybe I'll throw it in. Maybe you can see this. You can't. You can now. It says "need help," and I do. I need help. This is a call for help. Yeah, so I've been playing Brilliant Diamond, the new Pokemon game. I just caught Dialga, and I wanted to do it without a Master Ball. See, why am I talking about? No one does, but I do, okay? That's right, this is only for me. Oh, I just found my micro SD card that I was going to put into this camera. But I have some shitty ones, so this might not even show up because of how, you know, just weird it is. But if it does, that's cool. If not, I'm literally speaking into the void, which is what I do every day. In my head, I just speak, and I think my head is also like the universe, but it's also the void, because it's everything, but it's nothing if I don't have an an actionable if I don't act on it, which is my whole life. I don't act on things. I think things and I want to do things, but I don't do them because I'm scared. And I don't know if having a self-awareness of such things is healthy or in the right direction. I don't know. Is it good for an animal to know that they're going to be eaten? Is it good for them to know that they're in cages, being bred a specific way, being fed a specific way to be eaten by me? Is that good for them to know? In the same way, is it good for me to know how my mind works? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. Because it's happened. It is what it is. And so maybe thinking my thoughts out loud will make me realize, either they're dumb as hell, or maybe I'm smart. And that's really for no one to decide but me, I guess. Let me know if the algorithm decided to choose you. And let me know in just one word, like good or bad. Just say good or bad. Does this feel good or bad? I don't know. Let's see, my camera's been on for 22 minutes, but I've probably only been recording for like less. But I really want to go for that, like stream of consciousness. I like that. I like YouTube videos that are just people doing things, saying things, thinking things, like saying their thoughts. I think I came across this TikToker YouTuber girl. I don't remember her name, but it was just like chaos in the most professional way ever. She was very beautiful. Everything was pristine looking, her room, her camera quality, everything. She was speaking to her phone. Maybe I'll put her name up if I come across it again, if I remember her name, her YouTube channel. And I like that format of just like chaos, but very specific chaos. Like just, random thoughts throughout the video. I like that. I'm going to try to do that. Maybe keep it, thematical in the way that this one is about me quitting Overwatch. There's a deeper conversation to be had about video game addiction or just addictions in general. I think we're pretty good there. And you know what? Maybe this will be the theme is like addiction. Because yesterday I was, feeding my addiction. I was high as hell. I was watching Nikado Avocado on YouTube. And this man who is a troll, but he's self-aware that he's a troll, and he's self-aware that he's doing these things to his body for money, for clout. I don't know if it's for clout, but like he's chosen to do these things. And I don't know, like where's that line of it's consensual for himself? Like he's not damaging anyone but himself. You could argue um you can argue that because he has this platform and he's platforming himself doing these things to maybe impressionable people, that's wrong, and I can kind of get behind that. But at the same time, like you're consenting to watch the video, he's consenting to make the video. It's all consensual. Like we've come a long way with homosexual relationships and that kind of thing. But when it comes to like your weight, it's still such an interesting thing to talk about, because you see Nikado Avocado doing his thing on YouTube, yet he's like hated for what? I'm not quite sure. Is it because people are upset that they're watching him, dig himself into this unhealthy lifestyle? Is it unhealthy? He talks about his pediatrician or dietitian or whatever it is. He says that he has something going on to where he knows what he's doing, and his dietitian says it's okay for him. I mean, this is what he claims. I don't know. Um, but I guess I was thinking about, is that okay? Like, where's the line of consent for these things? And is it wrong? Is it okay? Should you agree, disagree? You should always be like able to agree and disagree. But like when it comes to him, I find it so odd that people are always like, love your body, love is love, all these things. But like when he's consenting to do something to himself for views, for money, I guess, you're watching it, you're talking about it. I don't know. It's just weird. It's an interesting thought I had. Well, I was stoned, obviously. I don't know if these people keep texting me. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that line is. But I'm inclined to believe that I don't care what he does. That's my belief. Like, I don't care what he does. He's consenting to do it. You're all consenting to watch it, to talk about it. And I think that's fine. And he's aware that he's doing what he's doing. He knows, and it's just terrible. Like the most recent video I watched that he had uploaded, he has like 7 channels, but it was like, he did some mukbang with hot or corn dogs in his car for the first like 20 minutes of the video, because it's a long video. 20 minutes of the video, everyone was out and about in Vegas taking pictures of him, talking to him. And he seemed uncomfortable throughout all of it. Even the people that were like kind of nice, it's like it's hard to decipher who's your fan and who's just like getting a picture to like make fun of you, which is probably a good portion of them. And then there was like a girl sitting in the car next to him, like just taking pictures, not talking to him. It was just awkward. And no one should go through that. People do. It's just weird. People just knowing, like, you made him a celebrity. He didn't ask to be, and I think he made a point of that. Like, he's just some weirdo, and I'm not calling him a weirdo. This is his words. He's just some weirdo online making videos. You all made him a celebrity. You all talk about him. You all, like, it's just weird. I don't like it. And I guess I'm talking about it, so maybe I'm weird. But I think the conversation needs to shift more like to all the other things that we've been so accepting about. Maybe like this is a good way to talk about that. I never wanted to I always wanted to do something like this, but the fear of having to look at myself and hear my own voice is hard. But I've noticed that exposure therapy to like basically all of my fears kind of works. Like last year during the pandemic, I got pretty agoraphobic. And so I don't know what happened. I got a job at a funeral home, and it's kind of taken me out of my shell. Kind of. But it's also made me realize how insane I actually am, because I'm working with all these like pretty neurotypical people, conservative types, and I'm just the opposite. Very ADHD, probably autistic, gay. Like I don't know. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, exposure therapy I find works for me. So maybe this will help. Maybe I'll learn to maybe not go as far as to love hearing and seeing myself, but at least endure it, bear it, be meh about it, instead of, oh my gosh, that's me, I'm so ugly, or I hate my voice, or like, who cares? I don't. I say I don't, but then do I? I think a lot of things, but do I actually? Like, I was thinking about my principles and my values and all these things, and I realized that my actions don't always line up with the way I want to conduct myself. And I guess this is part of it, is I wanted to do something like this, but I never did. It's like, what's the point of wanting to do something or having, like a moral code, but never really, never really abiding to it, living by it? I think I have a pretty good moral compass, and I do abide to that most of the time. You know, I'm a flawed person. You're a flawed person. Don't judge me. My ravaged brain of, you know, everything that I put into it all day long, just YouTube, weed, junk food. I can't do it anymore, bro. So this should hopefully be a diary, yeah, sure, a diary of me getting better as a person. You know, there's this dumb TikTok trend or like sound. Maybe it's a trend of like, if you don't break the loop today, it will repeat tomorrow or something like that. And it just triggered me so unbelievably bad that I'm like, okay, I just got to start doing things that I don't typically do because I'm just kind of in this whirlpool of my own life where just I'm spinning around, not really going anywhere, but still doing, like, I'm still moving. But like, where am I going? I'm going nowhere fast. I'm quitting Overwatch. I'm not gonna quit doing your mom, but you know, one step at a time. Had I've had enough time being straight. I've had enough of the MILFs. I've had enough of your mom. Let's move on to your dad. Let's move on to your dad. And with that, I'm going to talk about my dad. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Shut the fuck up. Take your goddamn nuggets out of here. Go fuck off with your Frosty. See, now I'm just angry at myself for, again, catering to someone that doesn't exist, which is you. You don't exist. I do. Only me. Only me. You know, if you are watching this, you're probably an NPC. Which is fine. Like, have you seen Free Guy? NPCs are real people too. They have their own thoughts. They can do their own things. But the chances are you're an NPC. Maybe I'm not even crazy. Maybe that's the Uno reverse card. Maybe I'm not crazy. I'm going to talk about my dad because I really like my dad. And I could say a lot of negative things about not the man he is now, but the man he was. But, you know, in my kind of life code is the past, the past is, it's important because it shapes who you are now, but it doesn't shape you who you're going to be tomorrow. You know, you have that responsibility now that, you know, what happened to you in the past has happened, but now it's your responsibility to move on. You're given these things, maybe not by, obviously not by your choice, but, you got to do what you got to do now. And that's take responsibility for the shit you have and the shit you get. And the shit I got was my dad and my mom. I got both of them. I still have both of them, which is, in today's world, a blessing. It is a true blessing, and I'm thankful for that. But up until I was 18, I was pretty much beat a lot, like abused by my dad. And I had 1 gram of shrooms. And it was a very interesting trip because most people, that's a small dose. Definitely no microdose, but it's a small one. And while I had just finished BoJack Horseman, the very last episode, the very ending happened right as, the come up started. And that, if you know anything about that show, it's very, it delves into the mind of someone who has so much trauma and baggage, but it also doesn't paint them as like, this poor victim or this poor whatever. It's just, it is who he is. And I don't know if that's relevant to what I'm about to say, but that's a tangent, I guess. We'll move on. But anyway, I had this interesting trip, And it wasn't really so much about my dad. I just went into it. I don't even know what my intention was, but I think it was just to kind of learn something. And I cried a lot. I like bawled my eyes out. I laughed. I enjoyed like the rest of the, that afterglow was so good. Like I had felt like all my chakras were opened and aligned. It was beautiful. Um, but I had been dealing with a lot of just this aftershock of my childhood had like risen up when I was talking to my brother about what, like we've never trauma dumped. We've never really been close. And we were talking about like our childhood. And honestly, it was a lot worse than I had remembered, especially from like my siblings' point of view. I never had really thought about their point of view before until that day when we were all kind of talking about it. And it had made me realize that I was an abuse victim and I had gone through all those things regardless of how much I love my dad and how much he loves me. Like I know there's mutual love there. And even like during those bad years, I knew he still loved me. Or he had always loved me, but he just had his demons. And unfortunately, I had to pay the price for that. And anyway, so it had taken me a month or two to kind of get out of that funk of that aftershock. And this Thanksgiving, we were all at my grandparents'. And usually us cousins would all kind of go over to the Thatcher High, one of the Thatcher schools and hang out in the gym and play games. And this year we went to the high school's wrestling room to play this game, ledge ball. It was really fun, super innovative. Would play again. We all just kind of had fun for a couple hours, and we headed back. And my dad's a hugger. You got to know this about my dad. He just always, he's very huggable. And I was in the kitchen just kind of standing there, and he comes up to me and he hugs me, and he says, "Thank you." I was like, "Oh yeah, it was really fun to hang out with everyone and play those games." And he goes, "Thank you for making me a better person," and then just kind of walked away. And I knew, like in that moment, I was, that's how I had felt about him. After that funk. Was like, he was that person, but he's not that person anymore. He's become this man that I'm proud to call my dad. And, for him to reaffirm that to me and to credit me for, like, partially credit me for that, it was such like one of those quick moments in life that will probably stick with me forever. Because why am I crying? Crying to myself into a mic and camera. I don't know. It was just such a turning point for me to see my dad like recognize that he's a better person, and it's not just that I've made it up in my head that he's a better. He is, and he knows that, and we all do. And my headphone just died, which is weird because now I can't hear myself. Oh wait, now I can. It's just not quite as good. It's fine. I'll take it. It was a moment of it was a moment of closure for me. That's goes to a line that I had either come across in a show, movie, song, where there's something like happiness is such an uneventful event. And I don't even know I'm not even quite sure what happiness means, like that word. Is it a destination? Is it an event? Is it a mindset? Is it something that happens? Is it a wave? I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I go back to that because it's true. Like happiness is such an uneventful event. You can tell when people are happy, and it radiates off them and it goes into other people. I'm not that person. I'm not happy. usually. I'm and especially like I always think about work how when I'm at work, I just feel like a shell of a person, and that's something that happened during my shroom trip where I was just, reconciling that this job kind of made me feel like a shell of a person. And not because the job sucks, it doesn't. And I enjoy the people I work with and I enjoy the work I do. It's fulfilling and it's necessary and it's good. Um but it's just not for me, I don't think. But I'm as far as right now, I'm still employed there. I've been looking around. I don't want to be employed there anymore. But I think, part of my journey needs to diverge from that funeral home. That's just how it is. And I have a hard time. I have a hard time not feeling guilty about that because, like, I don't know, it's such a job that makes you feel filled by it and necessary, and it's also like a family business, so there's not a lot of people there to pick up my slack when I go. So I just have like this negative, guilty feeling about leaving, and so that's kind of why I'm still there. Also, I need money. I unfortunately do need money due to capitalism. And look, I don't want to get. I'll get political, just not this time. And I'm also not an advocate for communism. Just because I'm a critiquer of capitalism does not mean I want to, you know, enjoy communism. I don't know if I would enjoy communism. Maybe I would. I don't know. I'm up to new things, but historically speaking, maybe not a good idea. Again, sir, this is a Wendy's. This wall back here, hopefully, I want to decorate kind of with my brain art. That would be cool. So you don't just see my bed. And what is that white thing? Oh, it's a door stopper. And that light that Sarah put up, my roommate. She's so sweet. She put up that light. Um, it kind of gives my room a vibe. It's a vibe. I caught one. I never do, but I caught one this time. Um, and you don't care, right? You don't care about really anything that I've said. If you do, that's cool. Um, I think about death a lot. Think about where we go after, where we came before, and what is even after the after. People talk about God. I would identify as Mormon still, but I've been raised, you know, in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. My whole life, I still live in my hometown where it's predominantly white, predominantly Mormon, and they live life with all the answers, which was always something I could never understand. It's like, you don't question your existence really. You don't question why you do things. You don't question why other people do things. It's a very rigid moral code. It's written down in the commandments, in the Bible, in the books of prophets of how to live your life and how to get back to heaven. No one questions it. And I did my whole life. I've never really conformed to the typical Mormon, rigid lifestyle. And when I started thinking about death a lot, it did make me realize that there is something out there. It was a very spiritual moment for myself. But that wasn't enough for me because I'm a greedy bastard and I need everything. I need to know it all. But like, why? Today I feel like quitting Overwatch. Today I feel like Nikado Advocado is my king. He's a real person and he deserves respect. I think those are my two main takeaways from today is respect people for doing what they do. It's not your choice. So don't, like leave them alone. They chose, you chose, leave it at that. And I chose to quit Overwatch because it was ruining my life. So I'm gonna do this instead. I'm gonna rant into a microphone about pretty mundane garbage. So I'll see you tomorrow. I won't see you tomorrow. I'll be back here tomorrow doing this thing again. Maybe you'll see me tomorrow. I hope you see me tomorrow. That'd be cool. And I'm gonna find something new to do instead of waste my life playing a Blizzard game.